cylinder and a new slave cylinder. Very, very corroded. Dash. Only got a couple of screws in it right now. Alright, what's going on, everybody? So I got some parts that came in for the Prelude. I'm going to show y'all what I got and I'm going to get them installed. So I got a new master cylinder and a new slave cylinder from Rock Auto. As we all know, the only reason why you order Rock Auto stuff, get the magnets. I'm going to go play a little contortionist act in the driver's seat on the floorboard and get this master cylinder out. And I'll pick up with y'all after I do that. Oh, real quick, we got to do the deed. We got to add them to the collection. So, there we go. I should have a lot more magnets than that, but I feel like I got gypped for a while on magnets. Either that or they were falling out the boxes. I don't know which it was, but every time I'd order, I was upset that I didn't have freaking magnets. You know, it's like a mystery prize. You don't know what you're getting, right? I don't know how long. I've been under the dash for a while fighting the two nuts that hold it to the firewall. Somebody must have lost one of the nuts at one point, and they just stuck a random nut on there. Because I'm sitting there fighting with a 12 millimeter, trying to get the one that it's hard to get to, and they're gonna stick the random nut on the harder one to get to. You can't even see the stupid thing. I was trying to use a universal drive and like crazy bendable extensions that I have and stuff, and I ended up putting a 13 millimeter on. I think they stuck a standard size nut on the stud. I don't know. When I get it out, I'm gonna look at it better. But anyways, what I'm about to do, I got this old syringe here. I'm gonna suck all this fluid out of this reservoir real quick, and then we'll get the reservoir out the way and work on pulling the master cylinder out the firewall. Some lovely looking fluid there. That's some burnt smelling clutch fluid. Like, look how black that is. And that was after my clean brake fluid mixed in with it. Alright, let me get a 10 millimeter. Let's see if the stubby wrench works better. The freaking flare nut wrench is not wanting to go on here at all. Damn. That sucker is really corroded in there. Alright, so we're going to continue this tomorrow night. It's getting late. I'm tired. This thing is not going my way right now. Let me show y'all. If you can see down there, it's very, very corroded. I put a lot of heat and curl on it, and it's not coming loose. So we'll try again tomorrow. Such a nice rainy afternoon. You know, been raining like every single day this week. It's wet. It's nasty outside. I can't do some of the stuff outside I wanted to do this afternoon. So the other thing I wanted to do this afternoon was we're going to try and see if we can't get this master cylinder out of this car and try to get this thing mobile. So it's been soaking with crawl the last couple of days since I messed with it last. So let's see if can't English this afternoon. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired too. Try this again. Let's see if we can get this flare nut line broke loose without having to like disassemble stuff and possibly cut the line. That's the last thing I want to have to do is cut the line off and have to try and get another flare nut for it and fit the flare nut. It looks like all the coil I put back here dried up. That flare nut looks like it's been jacked up before by somebody else. Probably using a regular wrench. That's probably why I can't get my flare wrench on here. Nope. All right, so this is the foolishness that I had to do because I can't get it out so we can work out here in the open. So I ended up having to undo this throttle cable bracket back here and this little tab here that holds it to the firewall, and I pulled this vacuum line for the brake booster up out of its little holder. The nut is definitely rounded off. I'm gonna see if I can't clean it up with a file real quick and get the flare nut tool, the flare nut wrench on there. Yeah, so it took a little bit of effort to get that thing out of there without destroying the hard line. So now I gotta get this off of here, and I was trying to do that last night. It's like the screws are trying to strip. Let me go take this to the workbench. I don't think this is going to work. I'll get some snips and cut these clamps off because they're froze up. I'll just put some regular hose clamps back on here. Like one thing I want to do real quick is I want to take this apart. I want to get this reservoir off of here and paint this bracket because it looks like absolute crap. And maybe paint the heads of these bolts. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far into the detail of it. It would look better if I painted the bolt, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, that's crusty. Nasty that is. I think that'd be part of my problem, don't y'all? I don't think that was doing anything. Ow. That sucked. Alright. There we go. Let me get a little sandpaper. All right, I'm gonna paint this thing. I got this silver ceramic engine enamel with ceramic. Made to withstand engine bay heat up to 500 degrees. So okay, I got it painted. It's probably not the best paint job I've ever done on anything. That paint's kind of old, but it seemed to lay on pretty good. I might have a couple little runs here and there, but I decided to go ahead and paint the bolts while I was at it. And I think it's all gonna turn out pretty good. It's one of those things, it's like it's kind of a beautification process. A little bit here and there matters, right? So if I do a little bit here while I'm messing with stuff, as I go along, it'll get better looking, right? Let's go compare the new master cylinder and the old one. pro tip of something I learned with the RSX is compare your new parts to your old parts, because you might have some discrepancies, right? But everything looks pretty much the same right here. Kind of, I can do it this way. That's about right. It gets close anyways to having the pedal adjustment right. Real quick, I missed a bolt, so I'm gonna wire brush this real quick, throw some paint on it, and while everything's drying, I'm gonna work on trying to clean these threads up. They don't look bad down here where it was at in the master cylinder too much, but I'm gonna clean it up. Maybe I'll throw a little never sees on the threads to try and help it next time. I don't know, I've never had one act like that before, and frankly that was kind of ridiculous. I've never had to put heat on one like that before. So I got the hose on here. It didn't come, the old new one didn't come with a gasket. So I'm gonna reuse the gasket on this one. Hopefully we can get it. I almost wonder if it wouldn't be easier just to go ahead and do this. This fitting doesn't want to turn easily. Be careful not to cross thread it. This is the last thing before it cross thread. Under the dash again in the car, I think I'm gonna go ahead and change the slave cylinder out. It's down in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get some tools and get it out of there. I got the old one off. Thought my camera was recording, apparently it wasn't. I got the new one here I'm about to put in. I went ahead and I cleaned up the bolts and I painted them with some black caliper paint that I had. So I got the slave cylinder in. It's ready to go. And this should be pretty much dry at this point. I think I got 3 coats on it. I did drop a bolt a little while ago. I was trying to put this on right here a little while ago and I fumbled the bolt. I'm assuming it's because the master cylinder is not fully seated in its hole, is why I was having issues trying to get that on a minute ago. I did put the one on for the throttle cable bracket, and it looks nicer being painted. Finished putting the master cylinder in. Show y'all. Yeah. Looks a lot better with that painted bracket. It kind of stands out like a sore thumb with everything else being all kind of cruddy looking. But I started bleeding the clutch, and I am getting fluid at the slave cylinder now. So I'm gonna continue with bleeding this clutch, and I'll get back with y'all whenever I get done with this. I probably stayed out here way later than I needed to working on this, but I think I pretty much got this clutch bled. So let's try it out and see if she'll move. she moves pretty good. Got me a little burnout mark there. Let's see if we left anything on this side. Oh yeah. Definitely my suspicions are that this is a transmission with limit slip in it. Also, when I went to throw it in reverse, I kind of ripped the skull shifter off on accident. Apparently he wasn't secured too well. I wanted to change him out anyway, so guess I got a good excuse now. Because where he was at is sharp now. So anyways, that's going to be it for tonight. Alright. I wanted to go over something real quick with y'all. I'm not really trying to do a whole lot of work in here today. Right now I've been running my exhaust fan a lot and it's noisy. I think I got an idea on how to quiet it down some, but it's wet. It's raining on and off real heavy. Now I'm trying to smoke this brisket that's in here right now. And I'm having to do it, of course, in the shop because I don't have a covered area to cook under. So I'm trying to keep all the smoke out the shop I can and keep it from building up in here so you can actually come out here without dying, right? Because, you know, carbon monoxide poison and everything. So I've been running my exhaust fan all day pretty much, trying to suck out as much as I can. And I've been running this little fan, and I got the other little fan over there that was going. I just turned it off because it's noisy too. But I just wanted to go over something real quick and show y'all, maybe help somebody out. Because I don't know why I never thought about doing this when bleeding the clutch, but I did it yesterday. And it dramatically helped because I was out here for a while bleeding this clutch. Take the fluid off, the cap off. So you got your slave cylinder down here, right? You can hand pump it. It's gonna come back. You can see every time I pump it by hand, it pushes the fluid back up into the reservoir, right? So with the pedal in the up position, that allows the fluid to transfer back and forth between the slave cylinder and the reservoir without any resistance, right? Because think about it, if the pedal's pushed down to the floor all the way, your pistons all the way forward is blocking. Because your pistons would pushes the fluid to the slave cylinder, right? And I'll tell you, I did it by hand a bunch of times, and you talk about the amount of air I was shoving back through that reservoir. It was unreal. Like, I'd been out here for a while. I started doing that, and like within a few minutes, I had pedal pressure. I was like, man, I should have been doing this the entire time. Now that the Prelude runs and moves under its own power, we can put the interior back together so that way we don't have stuff just dangling on our feet, and get that door panel put back together so that way we can, you know, it looks complete to some degree in here. Somebody at some point decided they wanted to be an electrician and rewire a bunch of stuff, I guess. I don't know. Looking at this door, I was like, it got me kind of, my interest is a little piqued as to why all this is cut and crimped together. And there's a ton of audio wire laying down in here I got to figure out, which I'll probably, in all honesty, I'm probably going to do away with all that. Because I'm not a big audio guy. I like a good set of speakers in a stock location, a nice head unit. You know, everything kind of sounds good. Never really been huge on audio, so let's hop to it. I'm gonna start with putting that steering column plastics back together and putting the piece that goes back under there on. At the last second, I remembered that after I got all the last screw in, I remembered I didn't put the air duct pipe for the AC back in there, because this is how this car's vents are. They run through the dash into the door. So I had to crawl up under there and wiggle it up in there. With all that panel in place, I wasn't about to take it back out. So anyways, now we can move on to this mess. The door panel's back there. I'm gonna go look for a speaker to throw in that door. All right, I found a speaker. It's an old Pioneer. I got 2 of these. If all else fails and I don't have a speaker in that driver door, I have 2 matching speakers I can put in there. Looking a lot better in here, especially now we got the door panel put back together. You know, there's not stuff just laying in the back anymore. Let's see what we got, what we're messing with. Pop this out because I want to try and get that panel sitting back in here, sitting in there correctly. All right, so I pulled this out, which has a little tweeter speaker in it, or a high or whatever. And there's this screen right here. That's supposed to be like that with a screw in it. About to reattach that. There. There we go. Because I mean, that's a lot better. Having all this, like all the trimming back in. There's a piece of trim. Actually, I think it's back here. Huh. There we go. I got that piece in. It's kind of hard to see. You kind of see the light going across it. Screwed up part is the screw over here. The little clip went with the, as soon as it got snug, it broke the plastic piece in the dash. I only got a couple of screws in it right now. So anyways, this is gonna be it for now. I just wanted to get the interior kind of cleaned up and all the paneling back together on it. Obviously I got more work to do. I gotta figure out why that window doesn't come down. I gotta figure out why the radio and stuff doesn't come on. Next time I work on this thing, this whole interior might be out of this car, getting back out of the car completely. And it might all be laying on the ground behind her, laying on top of it while I'm chasing wires and trying to figure out what old boy did to make things work. If y'all like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. If you got any ideas on where some of these gremlins I got with this car might be going or coming from, shall I say. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all watching.